The following clip is presented to you by The Extreme Life of Matt Hardy, available every Friday wherever you get your podcasts and at extremehardy.com.
And this literally came together the last few days. We've been talking about this for a while. Jeff's eye will take a little while. It's I kept making a joke. So how'd you fly here today? Did you take a red eye? Because he still has like blood in his eye. So they said that would probably take like 6 to 8 weeks. So I kind of put out there probably in 6 to 8 weeks he should be good, whatever. But his vision was fine. His eyes are stable. They're working in sync now, so they're really good. And he actually got cleared technically at the end of last week, to like do stuff physically again. So we had an idea about bringing him in, interjecting him into this scenario. And the segment cut a little short, but I can tell you right now, here's a great spoiler. Watch Rampage on Friday night, and you'll find out where this match is going to be, and you'll find out who all the official competitors are. I know I got out the stipulation that when we win this match, when my team wins this match, then myself and Private Party, we are free of the firm. Our contract shall be deleted. And very excited about that. And Jeff will be involved in this match. Hook will be involved in this match, and Isaiah will be involved in this match too. And you'll find out who we're going to face from the firm too this Friday on Rampage.
Sounds like quite the tease there that this could be some extracurricular stuff going on in this match. I'm very excited to find out more about it. Is Jeff's contract owned by the firm by proximity, or is he just
no? It's not. It's still owned by AEW. Okay. And actually, now that he's back to work, I guess they'll start paying him again. His contract was frozen for a while, so it's owned by AEW. So hopefully, he'll make a few bucks out of this.
Well, listen, it's a big deal, Matt, and it's going to be a polarizing topic of discussion for the next few weeks here in the wrestling realm. You and I have spoken ad nauseum about it, including in the past few weeks. And on this week's episode, we'll be talking about your WrestleMania 25 feud with Jeff, and I'm very excited to get into that. But, let's get real here for a second. This has been a long journey for your brother, and he had a very serious incident where he could have gotten hurt. He could have hurt somebody else, maybe even worse. He put 10 months of work into himself after that. How are things looking here as he gets back in the fold? Is this the right environment for him to be in? I have to ask these questions.
Of course. This is the most work I've ever seen him do himself. And he had 10 months. And he seems different. He seems different. And once again, I don't want to sit here and vouch for him. I don't want you to take my word for it. I want you to take anyone else's word for it. I want you to watch him and follow his actions. And then he'll make you a believer. If that's what you need. I am confident his actions and his conduct and his behavior will make people a believer. He's made me a believer. I've got to see a lot of him, and I've got to follow his journey, and I know the work he has put in, and I know how dedicated he has been to legitimately changing and trying to get his shit together once and for all. And all I can say is, I'm just so extraordinarily proud of him. And he's done great. And today everybody was so happy to see him, and he was happy to be there. And he was so adorable, right before he went out. He was so nervous and he was so worried because he hadn't been in a ring at all. He actually came to my house on Monday night and got in my ring and ran the ropes a little bit, took a few bumps. And he brought both his girls, Ruby and Nira. And then Maxwell and Wolfie were out there trying to stunt. They started shoot fighting for about 30 minutes trying to impress Tio. So it was a fun time just catching up with him but just him coming back, and he was worried how the people were going to react to him. But Jeff is just one of the few individuals that just has it. Something that's just so extremely special, and people are connected to him in such an organic way. And when he came out and the people went nuts and they were cheering and chanting for him, and, they hit that welcome back. It was great, man. A magical moment. So really, really glad we got to this point, and I'm very excited to see where we go forward from here.
Yeah, seeing your smile in the background as he went up to the top rope was pretty cool. It was a very genuine smile on your behalf. Look, it is going to be up to him to prove it to the world now.
Yeah,
that's where we are at this juncture.
That's correct. That's correct. Obviously, coming off his past, he has stuff to prove to people. But once again, it's just I'm the ultimate optimist. My mentality doesn't work for everybody, but I say like, hey, people change. Give them a chance, especially if they have legitimately put the work in and tried. I do that with everybody. And either he'll prove them wrong or he'll prove you right. But I have a very good feeling about this point Jeff's at in his life right now.
And you're living proof of that when you do put the work in, you can create a substantial change, especially coming out of addiction. And addiction is a horrible, horrible, horrible disease. And that's what it is. It is a disease. It's not something that someone can necessarily have a cognizant choice over. It's something you have to put the work in on and try to work past it. And who am I to say what's next for Jeff here and how he goes about proving it to the world? I'm not entirely sure of that. I know that whenever we talk about this on our podcast, it gets picked up on the podcast headlines and their websites
Right.
and Reddit. And it's like, oh, here's Matt Hardy once again making the excuses for his brother. Guys, listen, what's Matt going to do? He's going to be optimistic for his brother. He's going to hope for change. He's going to encourage that change. He's going to be as good of a support system as he can possibly be. And I can tell you this firsthand, and I mean this genuinely, and I know I mean this genuinely, but I hope that people out there have as good of a support system as a Matt Hardy. I can say that as your friend. I mean, the support that you've been for me, even this last week, to Jeff, to your family, the people would be very lucky, Matt Hardy, to have you as a resource. So I thank you for your enthusiasm, your unrelenting enthusiasm.
Thank you.
Because we need more of that, man.
Thank you. I appreciate that, John. Thank you so much for those kind words. Edge was the ultimate opportunist. I am the ultimate optimist. And I know I've said that to you before in the past, but I pride myself on that too. And I feel like the world is a lot better when you're looking at it realistically, but also you look at the glass as being half full as opposed to half empty. And especially when you notice someone is legitimately trying to better themselves. I always think it's very important to appreciate that and to respond to it appropriately and to give them an opportunity to prove themselves.